to guard the treasure. So multifarious have become corporate affairs, so many concessions and privileges have been accorded them by legislation, so many more are sought by further legislation, that their specially retained representatives are either elected to office directly in their interests or maintained in a perpetual lobby to serve them. Hence, it is that the corporation does not limit its operations to the legitimate conduct of its business. Human nature everywhere is selfish, and with the vast power which consolidated capital can wield, with the impossibility of fixing any personal or moral responsibility for corporate acts, its commands are heard and obeyed in the capitals of the state and the nation. But in a government where the people are sovereign, why are these things tolerated? Why are there no remedies promptly applied and the evils eradicated? It is because today there is a force operating in this country more powerful than the sovereign in matters pertaining to the official conduct. The official obeys whom he serves. Nominated independently of the people, elected because there is no choice between candidates so nominated, the official feels responsibility to his master alone, and his master is the political machine of his party. The people whom he serves, in theory, he may safely disobey, having the support of his political organization. He is sure of his renomination and knows he will be carried through the election because his opponent will offer nothing better to the long-suffering voter. Fellow citizens, I could have chosen a topic that would have given me much greater pleasure to discuss with you here today. But as we love our state and our country, we cannot ignore the events that mark these days. Recall, if you can, a session of a legislature in any state in the Union last winter which wholly escaped charges of scandalous corruption. It will not do to say that such charges have always been made, because it would not be true. Such charges 25 years ago, accompanied by legislative investigation, retired the man to private life. Not so today. So greatly has the standard of official morality deteriorated that such charges have ceased to impress the public mind. Between the people and the representatives, there has been built up a political machine which is master of both. It is the outgrowth of the caucus and convention system. In the years of business prosperity which the country experienced with the development of the great upper Mississippi Valley, men in every pursuit of life were engrossed with their individual affairs and left caucuses and conventions wholly to the politician. When finally the pressure of hard times and the multiplying abuses in official life turned their thoughts toward needed reforms in legislation, they awoke themselves to find themselves the mere subjects of this new master, the political machine, which had come to be enthroned in American politics. They found it running their caucuses, naming their delegates, conducting their conventions, nominating party candidates, making the party platform, controlling legislatures and state administration, and fooling a majority of the people year after year with plausible explanations through the columns of its own press. Experience has proved it almost an idle folly to attend a caucus with the hope of defeating the machine until today. After a century of statesmanship and struggle and sacrifice, after all the triumphs achieved under the stars and stripes, thousands upon thousands of good citizens in every state stand aloof from the caucus and convention with the settled belief that representative government is an unqualified failure. Think of it. The citizen recognized the supremacy of the machine and abandoning the contest. The official recognizing the supremacy of the machine, obeying its orders. What then have we left? It is the very life of a republic, that the laws shall be made and administered by those constitutionally chosen to represent the majority. Government by the political machine is without exception the rule of the minority. When legislatures will boldly repudiate their constituents and violate the pledges of their platforms, then indeed have the servants become the masters and the people cease to be sovereign. Gone the government of equal rights and equal responsibilities. Lost the jewel of constitutional liberty. Do not look to such lawmakers to restrain corporations within proper limits. Do not look to such lawmakers to equalize the burden of taxation. Do not look to such lawmakers to lift politics out of the ways of darkness. No. Begin at the foundation. Make one supreme effort, even under the present bad system, to secure a better set of lawmakers. Rally to the caucuses and conventions, each with the party in which he believes. Secure one victory, if possible, over the machine. Elect men who will pass a primary election law, which will enable the voter to sell the candidate of his choice without the intervention of caucuses or convention or the domination of the machine. Do this, and your officers will respond to public opinion. Do this, and the reforms you seek will be within easy reach. Oh, men and women, think of the heroes who died to make this country free. Think of their sons who died to keep it undivided upon the map of the world. Shall we, their children, basely surrender our birthright and say representative government is a failure? No, never until Bunker Hill and Little Round Top sink into the very earth. Let us hear today, under this flag we all love, hallowed by the memory of all that has been sacrificed for it and for us, dedicate ourselves to winning back the independence of the country, to emancipating this generation, and throwing off from the neck of free men of America the yoke of the political machine. Thank you.